cats. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, it's Claudia Winkleman. Taking the Nick, it's Nick Helm. And their team captain, Sean Locke. And facing them tonight, Nature Calls, it's Kate Humble. Lucky Charmer, it's David O'Doherty. And their team captain, John Richardson. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, each day the UK produces enough rubbish to fill the Albert Hall 12 times over? Some of the rubbish that's managed to fill the Albert Hall in the past includes Simply Red, The Lighthouse Family and James Blunt. Instead of exercising, 7% of women wear body-shaping underwear like Spanx. So instead of having a body shaped like a pear, they have a body shaped like two pears in a sock. And 20% of Brits who viewed a house in the last year felt the same thrill as when meeting a new lover. I know what they mean. The last time I went house hunting, I came away with a semi. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our panelist's job to guess the British public's top 3 most popular talking points. Sean's team, what do you think the nation should be talking about this week?
The Olympic torch has landed on these shores, and we are watching it
go round
the country
interminably.
It started in Cornwall. That's because they flew Ryanair, and that's actually that's their London airport. London, Cornwall, we're landing in, and then it's going around the country with various people carrying it aloft.
Yeah, little Will.i.am.
Yeah.
Carried it. He's only miniature, half a Corbyn.
Is he?
Yeah, half a Corbyn.
Half a Corbyn. Is that how we measure celebrity now?
Yes, and it's very heavy for him, but he's been carrying it.
Can we just call him William? His name is William. Just because he can't punctuate doesn't mean I don't call myself J on.
Who's Will.i.am? Is he in the Olympics?
No.
He's brilliant, and he's on The Voice. He sits on the chair, his feet don't touch the floor.
Why is he holding the torch?
The reason he's doing it, the reason Will.i.am's carrying it, is because he's Corgi registered. As a gas fitter. Drogba's. I didn't know this, but he's a fully qualified gas engineer. He worked for EDF for a while. It's very special fire, though, isn't it? It's the Olympic. It's the Olympic fire, and it's apparently it's very cathartic for people who come out to see it, because anyone who sees the flame go past instantly forgets they didn't get tickets.
There have been some fantastic protests. Did you read about that guy in Taunton who threatened to set fire to his camper van? I'm not quite sure what he was protesting against.
I've got a camper van. Every time you make a cup of tea, technically you're threatening to set fire to it.
Nick, are you excited about this? Are you excited about the flame?
No.
What about the Olympics more generally? Are you...
It's nice. So, like, on buses and stuff, they're, like, saying, oh, let's pretend like the rest of the world is like our mum, and if you had a flat, you'd tidy up your flat and make it look nice for when your mum came over, and London's your flat, so let's all tidy it up, because people might come round and see what a shithole it is. And it's just like, we live here, and they shouldn't be making us do all of the work. Like, oh, if you pick up your own litter, you do it. You do it, right? Just because there's someone coming over from Germany, right, or another country, right, doesn't mean that we should be on our special best behaviour. You should be on your special best behaviour all the time. Don't patronise us.
Sorry, Nick.
My mum doesn't visit, it's fine.
I like the fact that Sean's got Nick on his team and John's got David. It looks like we're filling a quota of homeless men.
Oh, let's just check the Channel 4 lady ratings when this show goes out. Having me and Helm on the same show, it's like, don't cross the streams. Ah! This is the sexiest thing that's ever been on TV.
Oh, David O'Doherty does not own a mirror. He has also never spoken to a lady.
I'm incredible at ladies. I'd just like to make that clear.
You're incredible at ladies.
If you say so, yes, I am.
Well, good, we've got this covered. Let's have a look and see whether the Olympics is up there. Yes, the Olympic torch has arrived in Britain. Will.i.am carried the torch through Taunton on Monday. Will.i.am's actually got relatives in the West Country. Well, I never and will I fuck. Johnston, what else are we going to be talking about this week?
Well, it's got to be the Chelseas, hasn't it? The old Chelseas. There was a rumour for a while that there was a bigger prick than John Terry. And then, thank God, it turns out John Terry's still the biggest piece of shit that's ever lived. He didn't play in the final. He wasn't involved at all. He watched the whole thing, and then he got a strip on, including socks and boots, to lift the trophy. He's such a piece of shit. I imagine he had a Bayern Munich kit under the Chelsea one in case they won.
Can I just be thick? Well, more thick than usual. What was he supposed to do? Was he supposed to wear, like, a puffer jacket and stand at the back? I don't know anything. Or a suit?
Let the players that won the game have a moment with the trophy and then pop down in a suit and say, whilst I'm part of the team, I am also a human turd.
I hear you. I didn't know.
Sean, you're a Chelsea supporter. You were at the game?
Yes, I did. I went, yeah.
Did you enjoy the match?
Fantastic, yeah. I really enjoyed it. It was great. And people say, oh, I must be up there with the birth of your kids or something like that. I go, no. You ever been to a German football stadium? They got beer. You can smoke. It's miles better than that. It's fantastic.
Did you see the picture of David Cameron watching it with Merkel and...
Yes!
Oh, so David Cameron watched it at the G8 summit with Obama and Merkel. I've got the picture. What you've got to understand about that is they were having discussions about Syria, where people are dying and bombs are going off and it's awful, and they broke off the discussions to watch the penalties.
No one has ever celebrated a goal like that. In the history of football, no one has ever just gone...
I think he's actually doing that because Obama got his name right.
I guarantee that is the only room he's ever been in where people go to him to ask questions about football. Can you just tell me? Oh, no, I tell you, Peter Cech is the goalsman, and he wears the hat because he's the captain, and they played Manchester City in the semi-final, which is what Manchester United are called when they play out of Manchester, and that's football, and it's goals o'clock.
David, Chelsea.
Wow, what's not to love about that raggle-taggle bunch of West London scamps put together by the local butcher and trained police academy-like to get all the way to the final of whatever it was? They were put together by the third richest man in the world, spending the resources of the people of Russia for the last 10 years to buy all the best players.
What's the song with the celery?
It's just a song that we sing.
Go on, sing it.
How does it go?
It goes, we'll ask old Brown to tea and all his family. And if you don't come, we'll tickle a bum with a lump of celery. Celery! Celery! If you don't come, we'll tickle a bum with a lump of celery.
Just out of interest, I've had a lot of issues with women not coming, and does that work? Does it have any effect?
This is a pre-war. This is a pre-war use of the word come, which means to visit.
In answer to your question, not even a little bit.
Well, let's see if Chelsea's win is up there. OK, fingers on buzzers. One thing still to get.
The Facebook man who floated Facebook on the stock exchange for, I think it was 6 gajillion bazillions.
It's the most depressingly modern... It's just a story you couldn't explain to your granddad. A website, which doesn't really exist, has been sold for shares on the internet by... it just makes me think, people don't make their own bread anymore.
Well, but then the weirdest thing... It gets sold for gazillions of pounds.
Gajillions.
6 gazillion?
Sorry, gajillions of pounds.
Yeah.
And so the price of the shares then plummeted, and the people who had invested in it are now suing Facebook, is that right?
Yeah. If you buy stuff in a recession that doesn't exist, you can't touch shares, so why are you putting money into... It's like love. It doesn't exist. It's not like a sandwich, is it? It's just a concept that will eventually lead to the demise of the world.
Have you got a Facebook? Have you got a Facebook?
I've never been on Facebook.
You've never...
Badger Space? You got Badger Space?
Badger Space I have, yeah. Yeah.
I'm, speaking from experience, I'm an internet entrepreneur myself, so...
Tell me more, David.
Did you ever hear of Google? Originally, it was a smaller operation. Originally, it was just me, and you faxed me the question. And you back a couple of days later, and you'd be like, God, that's quick. Then I had to do so much research, I developed an eye condition, and that's where we get the term googly eyes from.
I do the same. I do actually all my stuff, but my website, comparethefudge.com. You know, you go on holiday and you want to buy some fudge for an elderly relative, and you think, is this the right fudge? You go on comparethefudge.com. You go, that's a reasonable price for that fudge. Yeah. Get you other fudges. We were going to call it Fudge Book, but we thought. And Fudge Space was already quite a few websites which were.
Vicky, are you on Facebook?
I've applied for an account, so I'm just waiting. Just waiting to see what all the fuss is about, so...
Fingers crossed.
It's exciting times.
Oh, he got married, didn't he?
Yes.
Zuckerberg got married.
You got married, Claude. Did you watch this?
Yeah, of course, and I was looking forward to seeing The Ring. You know, like, before they ask you to marry them, you lie. You know, you pretend all kinds of stuff.
So you tell lies before you get married?
Well, I did.
What lies did you tell?
I said that I like Bob Dylan. I said I like dogging. I said I didn't want kids. Boom. Never play that shit music. I'm not going to the A40, and I'm pregnant. So she's done all this lying, you know, because they live very modestly. He's the richest man in the world. She's like, no, baby, I don't want anything. And he asks her, and he's given her a chip. Like, he's given her... If I pulled it out of a cracker, I'd go and fight with the people. And, like, at what point does she go, that old me? Kidding. Go to Graf, get me something that would make Liz Taylor wake up. Go get me something.
I can tell you that Facebook's flotation is not in the top 3. OK, fingers up, buzzers. One more thing to get.
Well, Theresa May's going to get rid of the ASBOs, because she says they're not working, so we're going to have CRIMBOs, they're called.
CRIMBO stands for?
Criminal Behaviour Orders. They were going to call them Socially Unacceptable Behaviour Orders, but then that's SUBO. But because all the papers have done now is it's an excuse to get out all the stories, because the ASBO did some good stuff. I mean, bad people were punished as a result, but there were some silly ones. And my favourite was a woman who got an ASBO for screaming too loud during sex. Which is embarrassing for her, but for her husband, what a story that is. I ain't joking, fellas. I banged her so hard she got arrested.
Do you have ASBO? You don't have ASBOs in Ireland, do you?
No.
But you're asking Kate Humble if she had an asthma. You've been pestering animals again.
Yeah. And apparently I'm now going to get a crimbo as well, because you can get a crimbo for having an untidy garden. Really? I'm not quite sure who's going to judge whether your garden is untidy or not.
I don't think it means brambles. It's things like sofas and fridges.
I would imagine your garden would be very well kept. How did that? There was nothing rude in that.
You're so
What's the matter with me that I can't even say that?
Say something simple like that.
So is yours... Is your garden overgrown, Kate?
I would say it's just pleasingly wild.
Let's move on. ASBOs. Let's see if it's one of our top 3 talking points. So, those were the most talked about stories this week. But in other news, Roy Hodgson has picked his squad to win the Euros. It's Spain. And at the end of all that, John's team are in the lead. So our next round is Pick of the Polls. Sean's team, pick a question. What do you like the look of?
The bride. Can we have her?
OK, so here's your related question. Most people found their wedding day more stressful than enjoyable. True or false? Claudia, what do you think? Is it more stressful than enjoyable?
Getting married is obviously hideous. Of course it's stressful. I don't know. I had a glass of wine and had to have a nap at my own wedding. I can't drink wine, I fall fast asleep.
Really?
Yeah, I had to sleep on my dad's lap. Looked weird.
What do you think, Nick?
I've just been the best man at a wedding, and that was horrible. If I was that stressed, then it must have been stressful for them.
So did you do a best man speech?
I did a best man speech, yes.
How did that go?
I accidentally said fuck 4 times.
David, do you like weddings?
Yeah, I haven't been to very many, but they have all been reasonable quality weddings. And
Well, if they're watching, they'll be thrilled with that review.
and I'd like to. It's a nice idea, saying you're brilliant, and now I'm hanging up the horn, and I don't ever want to do anyone else. So,
Well, I mean, you've written your own vows.
It's stressful just going to a wedding. Everyone I've been invited to, because I'm single, you get sat on the table with all the frigging single people. I will put the couples together and we'll have a table full of twats and we'll all watch them.
They're not single people, John, they're children.
Why do people think that a wedding has to be something that financially cripples them for the rest of their lives?
Because it's such a big thing, though. As a pressure of a man, if I looked at a woman and said, I really want to marry you, but let's really keep them costs down.
Can I just say for the record, John, that I do think at some stage you will say that to a girl. Are you married, Kate?
I am married, yes.
You are married.
I give you a quick Google
Would you?
before.
Oh, you did?
I did. I Googled you before. And I read that you enjoy being nude and keeping bees.
Yeah. Have you not heard of nude beekeeping?
It strikes me as a health
It's
and
an
safety
Olympic
nightmare, to be
sport.
honest.
What was the first bit of that? The keeping bees, I understand.
Yeah.
So what was the first bit?
Being nude.
Is that your...
Well, it's not something...
Because you're a naturalist, not a naturist. Or
Yes, no, that's true. But sometimes there's just times when life feels good and it's nice just to dance around with no clothes on.
but there'd be no point of wearing the hat if that was the only thing you were wearing.
Don't finish.
I want to see the circuitry. I want to see that bit at the back where you switch him on.
You actually turn me on around the front.
Wait, when... I'm now fascinated. When are you naked?
Just every now and then.
In the house or outdoors?
Outdoors.
In the garden? Or in
No.
the park? Where?
Just in places.
Well, can you give us a diary or something?
OK, so answers. Most people found their wedding day more stressful than enjoyable. True or false? What are you saying, John?
True.
What would you say, Sean?
I think it's true, but I think people will say false.
You think false? I can tell you the answer is false. Only 33% of people found their wedding day more stressful than enjoyable. It's really stressful getting married. You've got the flowers, the venue, the dress, the food and the disco to sort out. And then you've got to find a girl who's willing to say those magic words. Mr. Jimmy, I need a passport. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here is your question. Top animal people wish could speak.
Well, I think they would say their own pet. I think most people would prefer to have a conversation with their cat than they would with their husband.
Are there problems at home?
I would like an otter to speak. I don't want it to be an obvious animal. I don't want it to be like a goldfish, even though I'm a goldfish whisperer.
Sorry, you're a goldfish whisperer.
I have had a goldfish for literally 11 years.
OK, I'm going to say now, and I don't want you to be unhappy with me, but I'm going to say your husband has been replacing that fish on a regular basis.
Now I say it,
her tail has grown quite a lot. Sometimes she looks quite different.
Are you just finding out now that this goldfish...
Don't. And also, yeah, I don't want to believe it. It's like when the dog actually, I believe it is living on a farm.
Your dog went to live on a farm?
I don't want to talk about
Wait
it.
until you hear about your grandparents. Nick, if any animal could talk, what animal would you most like to...
There's a really skinny cat outside our house that comes over every day, and I just want to know what it wants.
If that dog that won that talent contest a few weeks ago, if that could talk, that would be just... Can I please go back to licking my balls for 6 hours a day?
I think the point about if animals could talk is it'd be incredibly boring, because animals are stupid. Just be basically going, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. There's a bit of food. I'm horny, I'm horny, I'm horny. I'm going to kill that, I'm going to kill that. I'm hungry again, I'm hungry again. But birds are just... I mean, the most interesting thing a bird might say is your nest is shit.
Not the robin redbreast.
Yeah, you say
Actually,
right.
the robin is
redbreast
quite
is a
vicious.
total bastard.
I've always thought I wanted dogs to talk, and then I suddenly realised it'd be really degrading for them. Because what are they going to say? They just have to keep coming in and going, I have shat all over the garden. I'll be honest, I went in the bin last night. Something's disagreed with me. It is carnage out there. I'm trying to move away from it. It's all up the wall. Oh, God, I can't clean. These are paws. I can't. I'm really sorry. You have got a job on your hands.
I can tell you, John, that is the right answer. Yes, the top animal people wish could speak is a dog. Scientists spent years in laboratories trying to teach a dog to speak, but it only ever managed to say 4 words. Please stop electrocuting me. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Nick and Claudia have 2 points. John, Kate and David have 3 points. They're tonight's winners. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. If you want more, tune into 8 out of 10 Cats Uncut on Monday night. That's it from us. Good night.
Strictly speaking, it's Best Daily. New kid on the block, it's Hari Kondabolu. And their team captain, John Richardson. And facing them tonight, hey Mickey, it's Mickey Flanagan. News just in, it's Krishnan Guru Murthy. And their team captain, Sean Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 8% of people smoke after sex? I always smoke after sex. That's friction for you. Bees collect 20 kilograms of pollen a year. I wonder what they're going to do with all those nectar points. And 25% of men say they can tell if a woman is faking an orgasm. My girlfriend doesn't fake it. Last week, she told me that she had the most mind-blowing orgasm of her life. God, I wish I'd been there. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our panellist's job to guess the British public's top 3 most popular talking points. John's team, what do you think we've been talking about this week?
Eurovision.
Did you watch Eurovision?
Part of it, yes.
Yes, part
But
of
it was yeah. I knew how it was going to end. How it always ends. In humiliation.
didn't feel it was humiliating. We came second from bottom, not bottom. Second from bottom.
Yeah. Could have been worse.
I only watch the votes. I don't watch because I don't really like pop music. I don't really like Celebration. So I just watch the bit in the middle where it's just a stream of sort of semi-racist European accents. It's my favourite bit when you go, "Hi, thanks, Azerbaijan. We can see you've been having a great time." And they all sound like really camp Bond villains. "I know you've been having a great party, but there's time for the party to end now because..." "Here are the decisions of the Turkish peoples. 5 points for Jedward." Jedward did better than we did again. Did you see Jedward?
I did.
I did. I didn't know that was a thing till this week. I'm very sorry for all of you. At least they were trying. I mean, the UK sent out Engelbert Humperdinck. I mean, they had to dig up his corpse. They had to reanimate him. And then they sent him up there to die again. It was absolutely horrific.
I've got a clip of Engelbert Humperdinck rocking it, frankly, in Azerbaijan. Have a look at this.
Though I'll miss you forever and the hurt will run deep, only love can set you free. And if you love someone, follow your heart, 'cause love comes once. If you're lucky enough.
No. What is he even saying? Love comes once if you're lucky. You know. Love comes once if you're lucky. You know. Who talks like that?
Did you see the plumbing problems at the back? The way that plumbing just gave way.
Well, I thought someone was doing some welding.
Unbelievable.
I thought they were doing welding above him. There's a load of spot welding going on, and I thought, that's going to put him off.
He could have gone up in flames, just like that.
Apparently, if he'd come last, on the way back from Azerbaijan, the BBC said they'd drop him off in Switzerland at Dignitas Clinic. He was singing for his life. Do you know that expression, singing for your life? I like it, though. I like it.
You like Eurovision generally?
Well, I think it's much better than the X Factor or The Voice, because you've got one night, 26 shit acts, and that's it. And they piss off for another year. It's not 3 months drawn out and then hearing how their dog's got cancer or anything like that. Just all done with.
Christian, did you watch the Eurovision?
You know, I didn't watch it because I'd interviewed the Azerbaijani ambassador just before it began about human rights.
Oh, OK.
So I didn't watch it out of protest.
What has he done then?
He denied everything. It was quite funny. I mean, you know, because they've got hunger strikers on at the moment. They've got political prisoners, and I just asked them about it. Oh, he said, no, we don't. We don't have any political prisoners, and we don't have any hunger strikers, and it's all lies.
Are you sure you had the right guy? It sounds to me like you might have just... I mean, it's quite... I've seen Channel 4 News, and sometimes it's a bit slapdash. Do you want to see... I mean, we came second from bottom. Do you want to see what came 11 places above us?
Yeah.
Have a look. This is Lithuania.
Love is blind, it's true. I'm on my knees for you, 'cause I give it all I can to have you back again. Love is blind.
I mean...
What I think's happened there is he was actually fine with the blindfold on. So when he took the blindfold off, he went nuts.
My favourite act was the Albanian. Do you want to have a look?
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
You've got to be brave to walk into a salon and say, I want to do something with my hair. Is there any way you can make it look like I've crapped on my own chest?
Snake round a neck.
Could you give me an outfit which makes me look like I'm trying to get out of a chimney?
That reminds you of childhood, doesn't it? Can we have another look at us, isn't it?
It just looked like she was trying to squeeze out of a chimney.
Let's have a look and see if Eurovision is up there. Yes, it was Eurovision on Saturday. During Jedward's performance, a spectacular stunt using a water feature went tragically wrong, drowning neither of them. Seanstein, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
The U-turn on the pasty tax. It's very complicated because you can sell a hot pasty from the oven, but you can't sell a hot pasty that's been put on a warm tray.
You can sell it. You just don't get charged VAT.
You have to charge VAT.
I'm glad it just means no politician has to say the word pasty anymore, because we've just had enough of people... I don't mind that they don't eat them, but I just don't want to see them on telly when David Cameron was pretending he eats pasty. I had a pasty recently, and they said, what kind? I think it was a large one. It's not a kind of pasty. It's a kind of dick. If you said, oh, what's your favourite drink? He'd go, oh, beer. Well, what kind do you like? Pints. You don't have to be liked. Just say, I don't eat pasties. I don't need to. I'm the Prime Minister. Someone brings me vegetables and meats, but don't pretend you eat them.
Yeah. You get the feeling with Cameron, though, that if like, the price of tampons went up, there'd be a shot of him with his trousers down going... I know what it's like, girls. Go. Once a month. Oh.
Campax.
Wrong.
Have you ever been to Greg's?
Yeah, of course I have. I'm an ardent cheese onion pasty fan. We were weaned on pasties in the north.
Can't you tell? I mean, look at her.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't look as if you... you don't look as if you put a lot of them away, I'll be honest with you.
I'm a pasty fan.
You're allowed to eat a pasty and exercise as well, though. It doesn't have to...
I like seeing the fat people spinning and brushing when they're finished. It's the most exercise they ever get. Like, spin and brush. They gauge the wind. They go, and they spin and brush all the crumbs off them. If you look down any high street in the UK, you will see the spin and brush taking place most of the day. Fat people spinning and brushing. The odd one goes over. Did you see the feeder and the gainer programme with these fat women, their boyfriends who just want to feed them and feed them till they're like basically like they can't get out of bed, and that arouses them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Fatties and their feeders.
Yeah, and they go down the pub. They go, oh, Ma Tracy, she's a mobile now. Whoa. Wait, I'll get home. I'm going to wash her.
No, I think the food in Greggs is disgusting. Particularly the sausage rolls. Because if you have a sausage should be cooked. It should be at least brown. It's got that weird pink, fleshy quality. You feel like
grey.
You feel like a cannibal.
But you don't really go there for quality, though, Sean, do you? You hardly think, oh, I know what I fancy, some quality food. I'll pop down Greggs. You go in there because you're hungover or you're homeless or you're on benefits.
Let's have a look and see whether the U-turn on the pasty tax is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, the government have announced a U-turn on taxing pasties, pies and charitable donations. Insiders suspect that David Cameron has done a deal with Greggs. A steak bake, soft drink and crisps for $2.99. OK, fingers on buzzers, one more thing to get.
It's the Jubilee this weekend, isn't it?
Four-day weekend.
It's a four-day bank holiday. It's really got nothing to do with the Queen, who most people don't really... The thing I hate most about the Queen is not her inherited wealth, and it's not the powers that she hasn't been elected. It's coronation chicken.
You got a problem with coronation chicken? You got a problem with me, my friend. What's your problem? What's your issue?
The problem is someone had some chicken and some spice and thought, do you know what we should do? Lob a lot of sultanas in there. Nobody wants fruit in meat. I don't want beef and banana pie. I don't want gammon and pineapple, but I'm glad that you can have rank food for a weekend with a little Union Jack flag in it for a woman that you're never going to meet who doesn't give a shit if you die tomorrow.
Tess, are you having a street party?
I am. I'm going to a street party. I've got one planned, and I'm quite looking forward to decking out my little Union Jacks, popping up the gazebo.
Well, I'll be right behind you, taking him down.
Doing the dip.
I mean, I'd really like to join in the celebrations, but I have to be sedated over the weekend because I have a rare genetic disorder where I'm sexually aroused by all things royal. And during the royal wedding, I was arrested for molesting a trestle table because it had some bunting hanging on it. And I tried to resist, and before I knew I'd mounted it, and so I have to be sedated because if I see... I've got a lazy lob on just talking about it. Because it is such a sexual thing, isn't it, really? I mean, you've seen the Queen with that sceptre. Oh, come on. The way she does that wave, that is so close to...
Christian, what are you doing on Channel 4 News to celebrate?
I will be interviewing the Prime Minister.
What's that? And interviewing the Prime Minister just
about the Queen.
About the Queen?
You sure you reckon it's definitely be him?
Why is it the Diamond Jubilee? Because it was silver, then it was gold. Why did they switch to a gem?
From a base metal? Well, it's a very good question. Well, I'll explain. It's silver, gold, diamond, platinum, and then it's the state funeral.
But if the economy is shit, shouldn't she have kept with gold or gone down to silver or plastic? Or... I just don't get you.
I'm not responsible for a lot of this stuff.
You're worse in America because you do hereditary, but you elect them.
Right.
So you elect Bush and then you elect his son. Like, you choose.
We've got no choice in this. We've got a terrible system that we've inherited. You are actively making bad decisions. Good point.
I met the Queen once, though, and it was one of those things where the Queen gets somebody, telling her who everybody is, and they must have said, oh, he's from television. And she asked me how to program her video recorder.
So the Queen asked you how to program
she said,
her... What you should have said, what you do...
Start of a really good porn film.
Don't show down.
Oh, this TV man's come round to help now. There's Christian there with a toolkit there. I like the pageant. You know that pageant they're having down the barge down the Thames, and the Queen's on that special barge. I like it if behind the rest of the royal family are on an inflatable banana. Trying to hang on.
OK, let's see if the Jubilee is up there. Yes, it's the Queen's Diamond Jubilee this weekend. The Queen recently made a statement renewing her vow to serve the nation. Prince Charles also made a statement saying, oh, for fuck's sake. So at the end of that round, Sean, Mickey and Christian have 1 point. John, Tess and Hurry have 2 points. So our next round is Pick of the Polls. John, Tess, Hurry, what do you like the look of?
Frisbee?
Frisbee.
Frisbee. The cool team say Frisbee.
Here's your related question. Most people would rather play video games than go to the park. True or false?
I prefer a park because you can't lose at the park. You don't come back from the park and someone says, how was the park? And you go, shit, I went out straight away. But with a computer game, you pay 60 quid for something that is now too hard to do. Computer games, I switch them on and then I just die. What's the point in that? They shoot at you straight away. There's not a level where it's like, level 1, get some breakfast. I'm shit at real life. I play video games to feel less shit. For 5 minutes, I want to win the World Cup and shoot some baddies. I don't want to be crying on the floor in a video game as well as my living room. So if I had to answer for everyone, Jimmy, I'd say the park.
What do you think, Sean?
I don't ever play computer games.
Never.
I think the world is...
Maybe once I've been round at my nephew's house and had a quick go on the football game and they just fallen about laughing because I'm just stuck running around the corner flag and I'm going, why don't I kick it? Why can't I kick it? But no, I don't really play computer games, so it would, obviously I'd rather go to the park.
When I was little, we played in the park with our mates, knocked on doors, come and play out till tea time, so your mum called you in for your tea. Climbed the trees, got flashed at by the local flasher. That happened a lot.
Ari, do you play video games?
No.
I don't believe you.
No. No, I would rather read.
You play Call of Duty with your mum every day.
Mum's in the audience right now because I couldn't get on the plane by myself. So... She bought me the jacket.
Does your mum choose your girlfriends as well?
A girlfriend?
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm the cool guy on my team. I'm so sorry for you, but at the same time, I am fucking loving this.
Back in the States, I have this image as like a real, like, hard-nosed, like, living a rough kind of life type. And here, I've decided to play the other card. That's what I'm doing here. This is a choice I've made to play this card here.
Yeah. Back in New York, you're very thug life. Yeah.
I don't even need him. I don't even need him.
Pop them back on immediately, though.
Back home, I'm white.
Well, let's get some answers. So most people would rather play video games than go to the park. True or false? You're saying
false. I think.
You say false. What do you think?
I think it's false.
That is true. Luckily, I'm in charge.
OK.
True.
You're going true. OK. I can tell you the answer is false. Only 30% of people would rather play video games than go to the park.
Swap over now.
There's not really much difference between playing a video game and going down the park with a girl. It's all about learning the right finger combinations. And if you don't know them, just rub all the buttons as fast as you can. I'm ashamed to even look your way, Tess. I apologise.
Look at me now.
And the winner is the name of our final round. Here is your question. Best thing about staying in a hotel?
Well, there's lots of things. I mean, if it's a good hotel, you won't bump into Lenny Henry. I like using the safe. I love it. I feel like a spy. I open it up and put stuff in there. They'll never find it. Ah, thrill. And then I deliberately forget the combination, so the staff have to come up and open it up, and there's just a sock in there.
The best thing about a hotel is being able to pay by the hour, isn't it? Because I'm a shagger. I like to shag. I think that's become obvious.
Have you forgotten who you are? You live alone and...
You never shag?
Oh, that is a
Don't openly laugh in his face, Tess, as much. And sometimes that can bring him down a little bit if you just openly laugh in his face. And he's never getting any.
That's going to be the sentence I hear on a loop when I'm trying to sleep tonight. I can just hear, you never shag.
My favourite thing in hotels is pissing in the sink. You know, when you go to a hotel and it's a bit cheap and they go, oh, there's no toilet, you have to go down the hallway, and you look at them and say, do you really think I'm going to walk down the hallway?
That's something a woman would never do.
A woman
would never do that.
No.
That's what seals are invented for.
Classy bird does it in the ice bucket, don't she? My mum used to piss in the bin. In the kitchen. Because the house was so cold, she'd run in the kitchen and piss in the bin, right? And in the morning, I had to empty the bin. Where I was only little and I had to get the bin up and over the big bin, quite often this water would run down the bin. So for years I used to think, why is all this water in the bin? And then one day I saw her in the kitchen pissing in the bin and the mystery was solved.
I think the best part of staying in a hotel is that when you call the front desk, the reception, they have to pick up the phone. They can't ignore your calls, like friends you never see or your parents, or they have to pick up the phone and they have to listen to you tell them how rough things are and how you've chosen the wrong industry. They have to. It's their job to listen to you and hear you cry. Like, they have to.
When Vern and I got married, all our guests stayed in the hotel at the venue.
Of course.
The day after the wedding, we were checking out and we got a phone call from reception saying one of your guests has left a rather large hotel bill. They haven't paid their bill. But, you know, they're extras. So I said, oh, OK, fair enough, they must have forgot, well, what are the extras? And they said, well, it's about £200. I said, well, what have they had? Champagne on rooms? They said, well, actually, they've watched the entire collection of adult movies. And there's like 20 over the 2 nights. They'd had them all and a bottle of champagne while they were watching them. Seriously, I kid you not.
Shall we name and shame?
I can't do that.
It's Bruce,
I better not.
Bruce. That man is an animal.
OK, best thing about staying in a hotel?
Room service.
The right answer. Yes, the best thing about staying in a hotel is room service. Number 4 on the list is the minibar. I love the minibar. Nothing says I'm on holiday like spending £15 on a can of Coke. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Mickey and Christian have 1 point. John, Tess and Harry have 4 points. They're the winners. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. If you want more, tune in to 8 out of 10 Cats Uncut on Monday. That's it from us. Good night.